Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Topic 9, Lesson 2 set of notes. In this lesson, we will be looking at locating the points or locating the coordinates of a point that's already given to you on a coordinate plane. So it's similar to Topic 9, Lesson 1 with regards to some of the movement stuff we're doing. We're just going to have to keep count of how many moves in which direction we move to come up with the ordered pair for each point. So let's just jump into it right away, all right? First thing that's important for me to recognize is that this coordinate plane is counting by ones, right? Not all coordinate planes count by ones, so we need to pay attention to what we are counting by in order to find the correct coordinates. So for the first example, we're going to find the coordinates for point A. And for finding the location of a point, we are always going to start at the origin, which I've indicated with our orange dot here. And then we're going to move left or right first. Remember, the x-coordinate needs to be first, and the x-coordinate goes along with the x-axis, and that is the horizontal axis. So we need to be moving left or right. And then you can see in order for me to get to point A, I am going to have to move to the right from the origin, and I'm going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jumps to the right. Once I've gotten even with the point that I'm trying to get to, then we're going to move up or down. And obviously in this case, to get to point A, we must move up. And we can see that we're going to move up 2 jumps. So the directional movement helps me dictate what my numbers for the ordered pair are going to be. Since I'm moving to the right 7, that is going to be a positive 7. And since I moved up 2, that is going to be a positive 2. So point A is located at 7, 2. If we look at the next example, which is point D, again, we are always going to start at the origin when locating the point. Point D, I can see that I am going to need to move to the left from the origin, so I'm going to jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps to the left. And then once again, I'm even with the point that I'm trying to locate, and then I'm going to count how many jumps I need to go up or down. Obviously, in this case, we are going down, and we need to go down 1, 2, 3 jumps. So when we talk about where point D is located, left 5 would be represented with a -5, and down 3 would be a -3. So point D is located at -5, -3. Next example, let's look for point E as an elephant. Again, we are going to start at the origin for our movement. Step 2 says I need to move left or right a certain number of jumps, and obviously to get to point E, I am going to have to move to the right, and we can see that I'm going to have to go 1, 2, 3 jumps to the right to get even with point E. And then step 3 says we need to go up or down. Obviously, to get to point E, I do need to move down from where I'm currently located, and I'm going to go down 1 jump, and I land exactly on point E. The ordered pair, since we move to the right 3 would be +3, down 1 would be -1. So point E is located at 3, -1. If we look at the next example, we're going to look at the heart, which is up here, the black heart there. So no different than the other examples. We are going to always start at the origin. Now the heart, you may notice, is not on an exact intersection. You can see it's sitting in between or right in the middle of one of those squares on our coordinate plane. So we're going to have to count very carefully. So to get from the origin to the heart, I can see that I am going to have to move to the left. And to go to the left, I'm going to go 1 hole, 2 hole, 3 hole, 4 hole, 5 hole, and then a half. So I'm going to say 5.5 jumps to the left. Again, that puts me even with the point that I'm looking at. It puts me even with the heart. And then from that location, I can definitely tell that I'm going to move up. And I'm going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4.5 jumps. So we'll say 4.5. And again, since we move to the left on the x-axis, that is going to be a negative 5.5. And then since we went up 4.5, we are going to say positive 4.5. So the heart is located at negative 5.5, 4.5. A little bit tricky. You got to pay attention to those if they are sitting in between a square. They don't always go a full jump. So just be careful when you're doing things like that, all right? And then for point B, you'll notice that I started to take away some of the words that I did in the first examples. Point B is what it's gonna look like on your practice and your exit ticket. So just pay attention to what it's supposed to look like. I do want to see you write and type these things in to the open spaces, just so that we can see that you're understanding the directional movement that has to happen, all right? So for point B, obviously, number 1, we are going to start at the origin. And for me to get to point B, number 2, I would look at moving left or right. Now, if I'm at the orange dot here, I can see that I do not need to move left or right to get even with point B. So there is no movement left or right on the x-axis. And that would be a very specific number when we talk about our ordered pair. And then I can see, since I do not move left or right, and I am just going to go up from the origin, 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3 jumps, 3 jumps up. So we're just going to put up 3 jumps. And then we can make our order pair based on these movements, right? Again, no movement left or right. To show no movement as a number, we would say that there was a 0 movement. So there's 0 movement on the x. And then since we went up 3, that is going to be a positive 3. So point B is located at 0, 3. If you're having any issues or any questions about how you're supposed to locate the point on a coordinate grid, please do not hesitate to ask. You can go ahead and start your practice. Again, the practice needs to look similar to what we did here for the example for point B, all right? I want to see you writing out the directional movement before you just tell me the ordered pair. Have a great day, guys.